Hi guys, welcome back to Tara Makes Up. I hope you're all really well. Very excited today to be collaborating with the lovely Angie Di Battista. She's an amazing makeup artist. She is based in Canada. I think that's right. And we said we were going to do a collaboration together because she works more in the commercial, like film and TV industry, and I work more kind of celebrity and red carpet industry. So between us, we thought we could hopefully do a really helpful Q&A for makeup artists. One thing I love about Angie's content is that she's all about helping other makeup artists, and that's something I really believe in as well. I'm all about collaboration over competition. I think there's room for all of us, and I think it's good to like share our knowledge, help each other out. So hopefully today I can answer some of your questions I've got here. So my audience has asked Angie questions, and Angie's audience have asked me some questions. So hello to anyone that's new. I'm going to get straight into these makeup artist Q&A questions. So the first question I have, I've got my notes in front of me, is how important is it to have luxury products as a celebrity makeup artist? So really good question. I think I would like to say it doesn't matter at all, but I think that would be false. I think there is an expectation if you're working with celebrities, especially at kind of a higher end, that generally speaking, the rates are going to be higher as well. So I think it's fair to say there's an expectation of having quality products. I'm not going to say luxury, I'm going to focus on the word quality, because I don't believe that there is like one brand that's above any other. I love drugstore makeup too, but I also know when I work with celebrity clients, they have their kind of favorite brands or favorite products. So the more you work with celebrities as well, the more you'll be introduced to their favorite products as well. There's definitely products in my pro kit that definitely are in the luxury side of kind of the market, but it's because they perform. So for me, overall, I choose makeup because it performs. So I do have some drugstore in my kit, not a lot, I'll be honest, and I tend to save my drugstore more for kind of doing tutorials, etc. That's not to say you can't have it in your kit. I think if there's something you really love and works really well for you, because that's the key thing, it's makeup that makes you a better artist. And obviously when you're first starting out, you probably won't have you know, luxury makeup, etc. So one thing I do still even now is I put a lot of my foundations into these click pens. You can buy these from cosmetics. I'll leave the link down below. So they have a silicone tip so you can clean it off. I actually label one of these for each of my artists, so when I'm working with them, they have their own foundation. That way, if I need to custom blend as well, I can mix the two together. And I think it's important to remember that if you are at a point in your career where you are working with celebrities as well, chances are you are probably more likely to get gifted by a PR, so beauty PR managers are more likely to be interested in working with you and providing for your kit anyway when you're at a point where you're working with celebrities. So does it matter? I think it definitely helps if you have some products that are well known and kind of like red carpet favorites. I think that I feel like I need to turn the question on you guys and say what makes you perform at your best and focus on quality. So next question, looking at my notes, what do celebrity clients and their management look for when hiring an MUA, so makeup artists? So that's another really good question. I think it comes down to several things. First of all, ultimately your book, that's your portfolio. They want to see who else you're working with. I think a lot of the celebrity world is them seeing your work on the red carpet with other people you've worked with. So obviously it's harder to get in, but then once you're in, hopefully you build relationships with publicists. So a publicist is usually the person that works with a celebrity that helps choose their glam team, so hair, makeup, styling, etc. And they will have, you know, an idea of who they think is a good fit for someone as well. So I think the important to remember when you're working with celebrities is it's a kind of a personality fit as well. You know, you might not be everyone's cup of tea, you might be a really good makeup artist, but your personality might not be best suited. So, you know, sometimes it's quite a special mix. I think it's not just a skill, it's also matching the right people, because when you're with a celebrity, you spend a lot of time with them. You might be in their house a lot, around their family, and you need to be trustworthy. That's definitely something I know publicists will look for. Reliable, on time, and you need to be really good under pressure. You know, I think that's the thing with celebrities, sometimes you don't have a lot of time and the turnaround is quite quick. So to sum up, I think what they're looking for ideally is someone who's very trustworthy, someone that's highly skilled, great under pressure, and is very good at working with lots of different types of people, and especially in maybe like kind of high pressure situations, and a beautiful book. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to start doing more red carpet celebrity work? I definitely think focus on your book. You know, you want to have a book that is the kind of makeups that you know the people you want to work with like. So think about your style, think about developing your style. Definitely think assist. I think if you can assist makeup artists who are working in the celebrity arena, that's definitely going to be beneficial to you, even just to kind of understand the set etiquette and how it works. Like I said, often you're in someone's house, so you need to be very respectful of that, be quiet. Perhaps at the beginning, as your career develops, you might get to a point where you're working with like a television star or someone who is just up and coming, and you get in that way, and then you kind of build upwards. So I think definitely focus on your book. Make sure you can show things like, you know, your symmetry is really good. You can do a really good perfect liner. I think for me, I always say to my students, like, find your weaknesses. What's your weakest point? So if it is a technical thing like symmetry, shade matching, like that's a big one. You know, you should be able to shade match anyone's skin tone. So look at what your weaknesses are and then really work on honing in on those skills so that you're the best at that thing. So if it was eyeliner that you struggled with, can you become the best at eyeliner? And really challenge yourself to kind of develop your skills. If it's a personal thing in terms of perhaps your timekeeping isn't great, you definitely want to work on that. And, you know, just figure out what your weaknesses are and then start working on those. Okay, next question. What is one expectation versus reality moment you have had in your career? Oh, there's many. I think the first one that's probably quite obvious to touch on is timing. So I do think that the expectation is, especially when you're working with celebrities or red carpet, that you have like 4 hours and you have all the time in the world. You know, in an ideal world, I get 45 minutes to an hour if I'm lucky. But sometimes, for example, when it's the Oscars or something like that, you might have 3 clients in an evening and you're having to drive between one house to another or to another hotel. And sometimes that's really hard to actually make sure that you know, time's not overrunning, and they might be overrunning. A celebrity might come to a shoot late, they might come to a hotel ready for red carpet late, and then time is taken away from you. So I think one thing that helped me, and I really recommend if you are starting out, is get a little bit of experience everywhere. So do a bit of fashion week, because that makes you really, really fast. Having to kind of work against the clock, time yourself when you're doing makeup. Can you do a full makeup look in 15 minutes if you need to, 10 minutes if you need to? Work out your kind of like action plan in your brain before you go to work. Like, what am I going to do if I'm really short on time? So I think having a backup plan is really helpful. Timing is definitely probably the biggest. You know, I definitely was guilty of when I first came into the industry thinking, oh, celebrity, you have ages. That's never been the case for me. So that's definitely an expectation versus reality. And I think the other one is also that it does take time to build a career that you love, that's right for you. Takes time. So don't be disheartened if you've been in the industry like 2 years and you're not where you want to be yet. I'm still growing. We're all still growing. I've been doing this like 13 years now, and while I love it and I'm grateful for the career I have, I still feel like there's so much more to learn. And I think as long as you have that mindset that you want to keep learning, you want to keep growing, then you'll go really far. Last question is, what has been your biggest challenge so far in your career? Pre-COVID, I probably would have said moving to Los Angeles, because I was originally based in London for about 10 years, and then I've been in LA for about 3 years. So really for me, the market is very, very different from London to LA, and that's a question I get asked a lot. London is definitely more kind of fashion editorial based. I did do celebrity there, but I knew moving to LA, the majority of my work would become celebrity and red carpet, with a little bit of advertising and editorial as well, but predominantly how I make a living is from working with celebrities. So that is something that I definitely feel was a challenge, because it felt like starting again in many ways. I had clients and contacts that were back and forth, but you still have to kind of envelop yourself in a whole new market, and that definitely takes time. And I just think there is no such thing as an overnight success. You have to keep grinding, keep working hard, but it's important that you try and find the fun as well. And then obviously the other thing that I guess I don't want to ignore is that COVID-19 is currently something that we are learning to deal with as makeup artists, and how that's affecting our industry. So for me, in terms of that being a big challenge, I feel very lucky that I've never seen social media as a bad thing. I've always enjoyed it and felt like for me it's just another creative outlet that gets to be in my voice, and it also enables me to help other people that are struggling, whether that's people that want to help find their makeup style or learn tips and tricks, or perhaps it's makeup artists, which I definitely feel like that has been like my purpose. I've almost kind of accidentally discovered, is being able to help other makeup artists and provide them with support and tools to help get them closer towards their career goals. Because I think when I started out, that really was a challenge, like finding honest advice that was relevant to the industry I wanted to get into, that was current, up to date. Things like agencies, negotiating fees, deal memos, social media, the do's and don'ts of assisting, they were all things that I really felt I could give advice on. So that was why I created my courses. And I think social media for me is, like I said, I feel like it's a kind of creative outlet. Like I have this thing called Fancy Friday where I get dressed up with wine, always with wine, and just do my makeup, and it's fun, and sometimes I have a guest. So I think for me, COVID obviously for everyone is a challenge. For me, I've just tried to focus on how I could be of service to other people. So maybe that is making content where my viewers are telling me what they'd like to see. I think, you know, any challenge is an opportunity for growth, however hard it may be. And I know this has been hard for makeup artists everywhere. And I think for me, what I've seen is I've seen a lot of makeup artists come together, which is really amazing and really inspiring. So that's the takeaway for me, is that if we come together, we're stronger as well. And, you know, use this time to learn, use this time to grow, work on your weaknesses. So I think focusing on education, I think focusing on, you know, self-improvement, if you like, whatever it is you've got in this time that you can do that's going to help you when we do return to work, and just give you opportunities for, you know, I think you have to think about like pivoting your business right now. Like that's something I really try to help makeup artists with, is kind of pivoting how they're earning money right now, because there are other ways, but I think it is doing it in a way that feels authentic to you and that you enjoy as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with enjoying social media. So, that has been a challenge. And even like, you know, with celebrity clients at the minute, I've been doing Zoom makeup calls where I'm kind of teaching them how to do their makeup because they're having to film stuff at their home on their own and they're doing their makeup. So yeah, that's something I've been doing too. So that is it, I think, guys. A huge thank you to Angie. It's been lovely collaborating together. Love Angie and her work. She's so talented, and love how much she's about helping other makeup artists. I would love for you guys to subscribe to this channel, and there's also some free resources, like a free resource library over my blog that you can sign up to, and it gets you in for things like checklists, mini videos, cheat sheets, etc. All free. You just sign up and then you're added to my mailing list, and then you will get access to that free hidden part of my site. So if you're looking for some tools to help you with social media, kit organization, love me a bit of kit organization, then head to harrymakeup.com as well, and I'll put all the links down below. And I hope you guys are well, and see you soon.